The woman had been violated by the doctor, yet he pleaded with her to stop falsely accusing him. Right in front of the police chief, he drew his own blood for testing, but once again, the sample didn't match either. Could it be that the doctor wasn't the perpetrator after all? The police chief no longer believed Lisa. He even suspected that Lisa had ulterior motives and was scheming against the doctor. Lisa didn't dare continue defending herself because if she kept pushing the investigation, the police chief would consider it harassment and false accusation against the doctor. He wanted this whole matter to end right there. Heartbroken, Lisa went to the supermarket where she was met with hostile stares from strangers. The cashier even refused to let her shop, forcing Lisa to leave empty-handed. She locked herself in her room and completely lost all confidence. After enduring prolonged mental torment, Lisa finally had a complete breakdown. Her elderly father couldn't bear to watch his daughter suffer any longer and decided to move the family away from the town. Lisa began receiving treatment in their new environment, but the haunting images in her mind simply wouldn't fade. She remained convinced that something had happened that night, and the vivid scenes continued to replay in her head. Lisa suffered daily mental anguish while, on the other side of town, the doctor was living it up as if nothing had ever happened. After a period of intensive treatment, Lisa finally began to show signs of improvement. Her father hoped she could start fresh and rebuild her life, and things seemed to be getting back on track. However, one day while chatting with her brother, his casual remark triggered Lisa all over again. She had done nothing wrong, so why was everyone pointing fingers at her? It wasn't just her older brother either. That same day, when her younger sister was playing outside and a neighbor girl asked why they had moved there, her sister replied that it was because her older sister had done something wrong. No one would believe her story anymore. These words cut deep into Lisa's heart, and she decided she had to prove her innocence once and for all. She returned to the small town alone, hoping the police would reopen the case from years ago. However, she was told that the case had been closed long ago and that without new evidence, it would be impossible to reopen it. Determined to gather evidence, she hired a private investigator at great expense to conduct 24-hour surveillance. She then approached an assistant who worked closely with the doctor, figuring the woman must know some secrets. The assistant was indeed persuaded by Lisa and secretly stole medical records from the hospital containing information about girls who had been hospitalized there but never returned afterward. Lisa's intuition told her there was definitely something suspicious going on. To find new evidence, she began visiting each address on the list one by one. However, when she explained why she was there, the girls' expressions immediately changed. These women not only had prestigious reputations but also happy families, and they refused to say anything about Lisa's suspicions. Meanwhile, the private investigator posed as a patient and successfully obtained a saliva sample from the doctor's mouth. The man carefully collected the evidence and immediately began comparing the sample that night. Unfortunately, because the saliva was mixed with adhesive, they couldn't get any results. They had no choice but to resort to more underhanded tactics. Lisa managed to find a lip balm that the doctor had used, but accidentally honked the car horn while leaving, alerting the resting doctor. Fortunately, their efforts finally paid off this time. The sample was a perfect match with the previous evidence. Lisa took the report to the police, and although the officer had doubts about the results, he decided to give her one more chance. They approached the local prosecutor, and while they could now prove the samples matched, the evidence couldn't be used in court because it had been obtained illegally.